Good afternoon, my beautiful Libras. It is me, Nayenda, again, back to give you your readings once more. Before I start the reading, I just wanted to give a brief note. The reason why I've been gone so far is because I am currently trying to get into the music business, and I can't multitask that well, so I needed to give that my full attention. And now that I have given that my full attention, I'm back again trying to learn how to balance more than one thing at once. So I do feel like it's a big part of my journey in life to be a messenger of sorts. So this isn't something that I ever plan on leaving for good, if I'm being quite honest with you. And with that having been said, I would really deeply appreciate if you could support my Patreon. I will be putting extended readings for almost all of the signs. I might pass up on Gemini this time just because I feel like the message for Gemini was pretty clear cut, but that's not your problem. I'll be doing extended readings for all of the signs, and also extra content. Any sort of esoteric information that I happen to learn about that I would like to share with everybody will also be available on there. It'll be on the channel as well, but you'll probably get early access or something. I haven't fully established it quite yet over there. If you would like to book a personal reading with me and you one-on-one, my information on how to go about booking that is in the bio along with my rates. Some of you guys could be dealing with a Leo. I'm hearing that automatically. But anyways, we'll get right into it. Oh, if you'd like to buy me a coffee, that's also my bio. But anyways, yesterday I tried to record a reading for you, Libra. And the message was very, very heavy and also extremely spiritual. And for that reason, I had to sit on it. I apologize. I had to sit on it. I had to take the time to fully understand what was being said, and I tried to record it yesterday, but the way that it came across, it didn't convey the message that I was being told to convey. So I'm back again, and I wrote down what I channeled, and I'm gonna just use these as cliff notes so that I don't get off track, because the message that I gave was also a little bit heavy, but it wasn't intended to be insulting or anything like that. It was just a very heavy message about a perspective shift that you are either currently going through or that you are going to go through. So I'll just go ahead and start with the message. So currently, Libra, if you're a Libra rising very specifically, of course there's 6 planets that are in retrograde at the moment of this video, but very specifically for you, the North Node is currently transiting your 7th house, okay? So when the North Node transits the 7th house, it brings faded one-to-one relationships. This is a house that stuff like that happens in. Anyways, so it brings faded encounters. I'm just gonna take what just happened there. Something just fell over. I'm gonna take that as a confirmation of what I said. You're going to be experiencing for the next 1.5 to 2 years faded encounters in your life. This will be faded friendships from past incarnations, faded enemies from past incarnations, friends that you thought were friends that will turn into enemies due to something from past incarnations. And especially with your 7th house being in Libra for Libra risings, there could even be a certain air of conflict and maybe even a certain vibe of like war and fighting involved in it. But it's all to help ascend your higher self. So I'm currently studying Vedic texts, and I came across a certain nakshatra that I possess, and it is called the, I hope I don't mispronounce it, I probably am, the Pura, see now I'm forgetting it all, hold on. Anyways, the gist of this nakshatra is it gives the native, the power of limitless potential and limitless access to anything. But it is truly a test. It is truly a test of the will. What will you do? Will you stand your ground? Will you have integrity? Will you stand up for what's right? Or will you give in to your primal nature that desires things of a lower sort, if that makes sense? So for example, have you ever seen the show Lucifer? And he says, what is it that you truly desire, right? And a lot of people live within the certain realms of religious spheres or certain spiritual bounds put on by certain establishments to quote unquote keep them safe. And I actually was part of one of those establishments at one point in time, but my mind was always too big to fit within those realms. I always had questions about other things, that now I've come to learn I actually am gifted in and am a part of, but were always demonized. And for that reason, I limited myself for a very long time. Even the idea of questioning the religion that I was brought up in was very much forbidden. But it was always something that was kind of knocking on my door, but I always perceived it as something evil. It was like, oh no, you only want to look into that because the devil's trying to get you. You only want to look into that because some evil force is trying to influence you. And even if that were true, which it's not true, I don't believe in good and evil, but I heard the most wise thing ever the other day when I was doing research on this concept, which the discussion of good and evil is really a discussion of strength versus weakness. Because anybody can be evil when they're weak in a certain area. And anybody can perceive it as good, but really what you're seeing is the strength of that person's character, the strength of their convictions, the strength of their beliefs, of their integrity in totality. So when people are given a certain amount of power or a certain gift that is just massive, some people are simply given that gift to squander it, right? But it's not to squander it. It's because they have a test in this lifetime to see whether they will use that power for good or for evil. Some people are only good within the certain realms that they are limited to, or the certain ideals that they have limited themselves to, because those ideals really are just to be perceived as good, which essentially is just spiritually strong, is what it comes down to, right? So with that having been said, for you, Libra, there was a really strong message about buying too much into the facades of other people's goodness, okay? The mother told me, I'm just going to say it plainly because that's who I asked, because I was asking for clarity on this message and for help to be able to convey it. And the mother described it accordingly. She said that for Libra, you were offered an opportunity to expand your knowledge in a vast and powerful way, but you chose the flesh over that by simply sticking to what is familiar to you and condemning the knowledge that was being brought to you to expand yourself with. Now, that's not saying that you failed in some way. What it's more so saying is, like I said, the discussion of good versus evil is really a discussion of strength versus weakness. There is a weakness in you spiritually, Libra, that is coming from a sort of self-limitation based on being approved by other people. And for that reason, you are beginning to experience, for the Libras that resonate with this message, of course, the true nature of people who truly are hiding their true intentions and their true self simply for the sake of being accepted. But we're now transiting into a point astrologically for these people where the truth will be seen. Or these people are being brought to situations where that integrity or lack thereof is being tested and they're failing. And now you're being forced to see what true, real spirituality looks like. And it could turn out that you were actually the last one standing amongst that. And maybe if you're not there yet, you could find yourself in the next year and a half looking around and seeing that your entire social circle is totally different from what it was before. And that you might even have opened the doors to people or ideas or beliefs or practices that you at once condemned simply because your mind has expanded beyond the realms of what you think you needed to be safe. Because truly what keeps you safe when it comes to spirituality is your integrity and your intent. And I'm sure if you're a magician, you've heard that before, that intention is everything. So there was also a message about toxic positivity and about somebody choosing to be delusionally optimistic, or maybe saying that they are of the light does not necessarily make them of the light. But also understanding that the darkness is not bad either. It really truly is about your intent and how you choose to use it. I don't feel like I should get too much into it, but when the mother said that Libra has chosen the flesh over spirit, it was essentially saying, okay, I'm being told to give an example, and I hope this example is not offensive to anyone. For the example that I'm being brought to is the Christian perspective of other spiritual paths, okay? So let's say, for example, that you are Christian, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I want to make that abundantly clear to anybody listening. There is nothing wrong with people being Christian, okay? There's nothing wrong. Everybody is fated for a very specific spiritual path and a certain amount of spiritual knowledge that they can handle, okay? But that being said, maybe you were raised in a very devout Christian mentality, and you were raised to view certain things and certain beliefs as evil. But you were challenged, or you will be challenged, or you're currently being challenged as to whether those beliefs that you are restricted from are truly evil, or if maybe the people that you're surrounded with, or the people that practice that specific faith system, can't handle that level of knowledge and power. There is a difference, and that goes into a whole different deep topic that I'm just not going to get into right now. But that was the message that I had for the month of September for you, Libra, is that you were being brought and invited to accept deeper knowledge by means of your one-to-one relationships, and you will be able to see through these people's fruits. I'm going to speak in Christian terms. You know, you can tell a tree by what kind of fruit it bears, correct? You'll be able to see by the fruits of the people around you who truly is of the spirit and who truly is of the flesh, and adjust yourself accordingly. Okay. That was the message I had for you, Libra. I'm going to leave that there. We're going to move on to the next topic because that was just the general energy. For some of you, this does pertain to career and finance, but I'm going to tap into career and finance now. Then we're going to get into love. And then hopefully, if the message is not too cut and clear, you'll get an extended reading as well, but we're going to go ahead and play it by ear, okay? So for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Spirit, what can they expect in career and finance? So we have Scorpio energy coming through. Yes, there's the energy of the universe is definitely making that you have a calling, Libra. For whatever Libra this resonates for, you have a calling, and it's a higher one, okay? Okay, so for some of you guys, that message might have pertained to your career. You might be reaching a certain, like a stagnating point where you're really confused as to why something is not moving. And you could be tapping into your own spiritual practices, trying to find out what the next move should be. And you're hitting, I'm hearing a gridlock, or you're hitting a wall, because the solution truly is and has been in front of you this entire time, Libra. But there is something about spiritual immaturity, but it's not immaturity. You are very spiritually mature and very spiritually wise, but now you're entering a realm where you will be spiritually immature. But it's not because of spiritual immaturity, it's because of a lack of knowledge. And with a lack of knowledge comes what? A lack of experience and a lack of strength, because we talked about good versus evil being strong versus weak, right? This is the period where you are going to feel and seem you're going to feel a little bit weaker. And the reason why you're going to feel weaker is because you are being invited to explore the ocean of whatever it is that you are meant to experience, while others can only handle the puddles. And it's like you were trying to stay in the puddles. I feel like this for a lot of you does pertain to a spiritual path. You were trying to stay in the puddles because the puddles, either the puddles felt like that was what was right to do, or the puddles are what you were comfortable with and you felt safe with. You know what I'm saying? You felt comfortable or you felt safe with, and now you're being invited to the next level. And while you might have thought the next level was up, it might actually be in a different direction. And what I'm saying for that is there is going to be an ego death when it comes to your career, your finances, especially if you're a Libra rising with Taurus in your Uranus retrograde in your 8th house. Although that is finances, so maybe some of you guys could be trying to become more financially independent, that is also the house of the occult. So your own astrological chart is requiring for you to become innovative and a little bit rebellious in your spiritual practices. But the rebellion is really subjective. Rebellion is different to everybody else. Like, for example, I talk to the dead, right? Everything I do pertains to the realm of the dead. To some people, you know, that's rebellion. To me, death is nature. And it is nature. It's nature to everybody, but not everybody is meant to be as comfortable with those concepts as I am, because a lot of people lose themselves in it. There are some people who do work with entities that other people, some people refer to them as infernals, other people refer to them as demons, whatever the hell it is. And of course there's the argument of demon versus daimon. It's a whole different realm, right? But there are people that do work with those entities, and there are people that work with those entities that aren't evil, that don't hurt people, that don't steal from people, that don't do anything bad, that simply use those entities for self-development and spirituality because that's what their calling is. And there's other people who step into that realm solely for the purpose of material power and wealth and, you know, one-upping people. The difference between the both of those people, though, are strength versus weakness. The person that uses it for self-development and knowledge and wisdom simply for wisdom and enlightenment's sake is the strong one. The person that uses it for the latter is the weak one. But the concept of it entirely is not evil. It just is. And that's what comes with being what I hopefully am aiming to become, a tantrika, somebody that doesn't believe in any forbidden knowledge. And that sounds like kind of what you're kind of being guided to, Libra. But of course, being a Libra, you're probably more guided more toward the love and light and harmony aspect of it. Not all of you Librans, I'm making a blanket statement, don't come for my neck, but the love and light, which is essentially more of a different version of Christianity, might have felt more comfortable for you, but that's not where you're going to grow, okay? So you're being guided out of that into a more real, authentic version of spirituality for you specifically, Libra. That love and light stuff, you don't have to leave it entirely. The whole point of all of this is to integrate all of the knowledge that you have together to become a more well-rounded individual and ultimately a more well-rounded soul. And you probably have noticed that a lot of people in the love and light path, especially in the next, if you haven't experienced already, you're probably starting to realize a lot of people are using that for spiritual bypassing purposes. AKA, this person might actually be a bully, but then they're going to go ahead and blame it on the devil, right? Instead of actually saying, like, you know, what I did was wrong. I hold myself accountable. I was coming from a different place or a place of weakness or whatever. No, they're going to blame it on some external force, baby. Then it's not my fault. It was the devil. The devil got to me. Please forgive me. God, forgive me. But what if I told you that the gods wanted you to act differently? You can't blame everything on the devil. You can't blame everything on the ethers. Like, you have to take responsibility for your own actions. And those are the kinds of people that you're being led away from, Libra. And it could be a little bit unsettling for you, but it is truly for your growth's sake. I know I said this is career and finance. Of course, I made that sound very esoteric. I apologize in advance. That's just the message that I'm getting, and I have to just say what I'm getting, okay? So you're being guided to advance to something that may not be comfortable for you, but, excuse me, the discomfort is for growth's sake, okay? So that's what I have for you. I guess it's, excuse me, still a pretty general reading, but I'm going to get, because we're 18 minutes, I'm going to get into the love section of it so that I can move on to either your extended reading or move on to Aquarius. I might not give you an extended reading either, Libra. All of this is very, like, not only is it very deep, but it just feels like it doesn't need reiteration. It's pretty clear. So what can Libra expect for love and romance in the month of September? I'm hearing for some of you, somebody you're connected to could be Jewish. We have Aquarius energy coming through here. So Libra, some of you guys might have a couple of options when it comes to love and romance. But again, with that North Node transit in the 7th house, you need to be very careful because there are some illusions within those people. There are people that will appear to be what it is that you think you want. This is so funny because I'm a sidereal Libra rising, or no, I'm a Vedic Libra, whatever the word is. I'm still trying to, I always get that mixed up. But anyways, there will be people that will appear to be what it is that you want that are not what you want. And there are people that will be what you want that might not look like what you want. So you really are going through a testing period, Libra, especially because for some of you guys, you're concerned with holding on to your money. Others of you guys, there's like something you're trying to hold on to in terms of love and romance. It might even be some outdated ideas. You could be dealing with the Pisces here. Some of you guys might meet the person you love at work. It could be like a workplace romance, but you'll have to hold back because you are at work, okay? You could meet this person when you're trying to save money. We have Virgo energy coming through here too. Some of you guys might meet this person at work, but you try to hold back from it, or you guys decide not to act on it immediately to avoid conflict. There's the energy of work over romance in September, honestly, Libra. Like, you could, for some of y'all, like, you could be working one-on-one with this person and like... Okay, so for some of you guys, you're gonna have a workplace romance, okay? And you and this person are clearly gonna have the hots for each other, and you guys are gonna be working together on something, but you're gonna hold back because you're at work, baby. But you could be having fun with this person at work is what it looks like. It's like maybe like you just don't have time for a romantic relationship, but you happen to run into somebody or you meet somebody through work, and because you don't have the time and you're always at work, you and this person are always together, Libra, and I love that for you. It's hella cute. We have Cancer energy coming through here as well. I'm hearing there's somebody from your... There's somebody here who is financially insecure. Maybe you're leaving a relationship where somebody was codependent on you, Libra. Or somebody just wasn't mature, wasn't handling their responsibilities, or this person might recently be leaving somebody like that. So it's like you guys are both in a position where it's like, okay, I got a lot of work I'm trying to get out of the hole financially, and you are obviously dealing with something with somebody else. So we're both gonna keep it business, but y'all not really keeping it business like that. You're not, but we're gonna say that. We're gonna keep it business. And what if y'all work really well together? And it's like, oh, are y'all, y'all fucking, no, that's me and him, we really work well together. Yeah, we're like great work partners. Mind your business. Mind the one that pays you. That is what I'm seeing here for you, Libra, for the month of September. I don't think I'm going to do an extended reading for you, just because this was really heavy, but I will be doing love reading specifically soon, and then you'll get your extended reading there. But do check out my Patreon for the other placements that you may have, or for the person that you're connecting with. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Aquarius, and I will see you next time. Sending lots of love. Ciao.